Hey, this is Mitch and Zach from Northeast Party House, and we're currently chatting to Milky. Brain Freeze, the demo was written about 4 years ago for our album Shelf Life, but didn't make the cut. So we kind of revisited it a few months ago, and Zach kind of took over and wrote some vocals, and I'll let him chat about that.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of like been enjoying getting maybe back into like maybe an older style of voice for Northeast, and a bit more of like my chest voice, and kind of having a bit more energy in the vocal in general. Trying to find something that was kind of catchy but kind of yelly in a way that fit over that. So yeah, it's just a fun dance track kind of vibe, and yeah, we've been enjoying it. Nice and short, very like, it's probably the shortest track that we have. Also probably the most simple track, and I think the idea was just trying to like make it stick in people's heads and be as like obvious as possible. Probably also why it's so short. We've been kind of pushing music into more of like a dance direction and kind of solidifying ourselves there. I think it's something that we've been speaking about being and doing for a long time, that it's like Northeast Party House, you come to the live show, it's dancey, it's got all this energy, but we probably haven't actually really been like a dance outfit classically. It's been more of kind of an indie rock, with dance elements. And so I think it's kind of almost a new take on that stuff. It's, kind of bringing in those old kind of indie guitar moments, but adding it into kind of a dance world. Also, we're a 6-piece band, so not just having like 6 people standing on stage while there's just like synths and a drum playing, it's like good to have those live elements still quite important to us, that we are a live band as well. So yeah, it was kind of a way of us merging all that together.
We just had one. We had some Slurpees before. We also had some Slurpees 2 nights ago. But maybe it can be like like what in life gives you a brain freeze. But we were also just talking about wet towels on the floor.
Does give me a brain freeze.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of things. Like it could be like a brain freeze of like, I like to think of it as like you're on the dance floor and you're kind of frozen in a moment, and even though that moment can go for like a whole song or something, like we were at Meredith Festival and watched Caribou play, and then watched Daphne, who's the same person, play, and the Daphne DJ set was so unbelievably good, but I couldn't tell you when it started and when it finished. It just kind of was like started and then it ended, and I was like, that was fucked. So those moments I find are really like inspiring and special when you're like out having fun, and you kind of it's like a moment captured in time. But otherwise, yeah, those Slurpees made me cry.
Things at that festival, giving you some brain freezes.
For me, it's probably the head is spinning, like it's actually the part that gets stuck in my head the most is it goes like, my head is spinning round, and there's this little thing that goes round, and I don't know why, but that's the part that gets stuck in my head the most, just that little round. Kind of reminds me of my cat as well. I think like we actually typically probably write separately and then bring ideas together and work that way. We've kind of been, they're always trying new things, but there's definitely no specific way that we all work together, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, we always try and change it up, but it does seem to go back to, individuals in bedrooms seems like a really comfortable space. And then like bringing that song into it might be like, sometimes we'll all rehearse it together, but yeah, or work on it in pairs, but it's always changing. There's been no like finite way of doing it. Sometimes it's cool. Yeah, sometimes it's cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of takes like the songwriting element to take a longer time, but yeah, we've never really worked out the best formula.
Well, there's also like 6 of us, so it's like it's a lot of people to like get a lot of ideas from. When you're trying to start something, it can be like yeah, much more conducive to maybe like workshopping. Well, we're gonna play Brain Freeze. Strong start.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few new tracks. We might go back to some older songs that we haven't played live at all or haven't played for a while, which it just kind of makes things a lot more interesting for us as well. Some new venues, Princess Theatre in Brisbane. I've never been to, which is real fun. And I'm really interested because we played Northcote Theatre on our last tour, and I don't know, it was just in its infancy of being a venue, so I'm kind of interested to see how it's progressed. And I think the floors in there were still like
fresh.
It's still super fresh, like unpolished, and it smelled like Bunnings, which I actually loved.
Yeah, loved.
But keen to play Northcote again.
The sausages.
Yeah, I know. You have some snags out the front. We might have a red carpet at that.
We will have
show.
a red carpet.
Yeah, the Northcote show.
Yeah, we got some things planned. It's gonna be different. We've been playing the same set for a while. To be honest, I don't know if there's a lot of like testing stuff on the audience in terms of like, I mean, at least it feels like those days have kind of, we've probably done that, and that's probably already informed where we're at. It's more about, in some ways, it's more about keeping it interesting for us and just trying to make things like better or like more interesting, more dynamic, or like flow a little bit better.
We might not be organized enough to have songs that are ready to road test before recording, but I definitely find during the writing process, or if it's like the kind of end production, even just the structure of a song, having the live element kind of blended into that, or thinking like, how would this translate live? How could you tweak a little something to make something a bit more impactful for the audience? So I personally always find there is like a live focus to it, and it's probably the place where we all just like, whatever's happened during the week, that just ends, and we jump on stage for that hour or that 45 minutes, and we like, this is a nice way to bond, and probably just it's my favorite part.
Yeah, live's definitely
doing band stuff.
Yeah, live's great.
Overseas.
Yeah, some trips overseas. We've also we're just working on music at the moment, so we're excited, ready to get going. There'll be more shows and more stuff.
Yeah, heading to New Zealand for the first time,
true.
which will be really fun.
And Bali.
And Bali, yeah. It is crazy. Like, what worked it out is we've probably been to WA maybe like 15 times over the journey, and never New Zealand. It's kind of the same distance, so very, very keen.
Yeah, it's funny when you said overseas, I was like,
oh yeah,
I was like,
New Zealand overseas? Nah, that's Hobart, right? LCD sound system,
pretty big.
Yeah, I always look back to the early days of when we were kind of just like getting stuff together, and probably a band that we all reference as like sonically, and they blended live drums with electronic elements, which we were doing as well, or wanted to do. And yeah, they definitely inspired heaps of our music early on, and even if it sounds so different, and that more so now, it's still subconsciously at the back of our minds that
Definitely.
that period of music. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that was why it was put in that Redbone cover as well. It was kind of like a way of nodding. That
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, true. You did do that.
Yeah. I'd probably Calvin Harris.
Go on. That'd be pretty fun. Sick. Oh, I don't know, Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl for Northeast?
Yeah.
Sick.
But then I have to be like, sorry, Mal.
Yeah.
The Mal could crowd surf while Dave.
Dave could sing.
Yeah. Dave could sing. I just want to. Nah, his greatest weapons is drumming. Yeah, Dave Grohl for me. I just want to meet him.
So hard. Like, I don't really feel like there has been a specific album. You know, again, like you could look at those like LCD Sound System stuff, but this was streaming and
That's a good question.
yeah. I definitely like have listened to a lot of like Caribou Swim album. Is it Swim album? Yeah. Like Odessa, yeah. Like that album I thought was also a really amazing amalgamation of like dance and indie. And I think like a different side, like a much softer side. I'd say like stuff like Calypso came from that side and stuff. Yeah, it'd be sitting in there. Calvin Harris again.
Yeah, it's really tricky. It's tricky because we Northeast is definitely its own thing, sometimes separate to what we individually all love about music as well, or say like what we're drawn to. So we're all very different. There's like people into like hip hop or metal or techno. So when it comes to Northeast, it's tough. It's tough to think of an album that as a collective we're all inspired by.
We do have a couple of tracks.
Yeah,
there are like a couple of songs that like we call it full steez.
Yeah.
I think
true.
like the first one we ever found that all six of us liked was U2 With or Without You
And it took like 10 years to actually all agree on a
song.
Out of any song ever. It was U2.
So U2. The iPod.
Probably Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah, Bonkers. I reckon Baseline Junkie might be there too.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Project X or something.
Yeah,
It's like, is it that one? The teen movie, and they're like, something goes wrong, and like it's like a pool party, and it starts off as like this wild party, and then it slowly they take ecstasy, and then at the very end they're like, I wish I never took X before, or whatever.
Is that what the Waterloo was watching?
Oh no, that was that was World War Z.
World War Z.
World War Z would be cool as well. But yeah, I'd probably say like some form of like dumb American.
Yeah,
like,
it would be like a
teen
movie. A teen movie's still a thing. We need American Pie 10 to come out.
Yeah, I feel like they've gotten more tasteful.
Yeah.
But that all like fuck. What's left me?
We love film.
Clearly
As you can
love
tell.
film. Yeah. Nothing.
I'm thinking just about my gear stuffing up. That's what I get nervous about. Something going wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I find like the second I think about something, I forget lyrics. So like I'll like try and avoid friends. Like if friends are in the crowd, then I'll try and avoid them. Try and avoid looking at the guys. Like anything that pulls you out, I usually will fuck up. So yeah, it's usually pretty like.
Yeah, for me it's just don't stuff up.
Don't fuck up.
It's really. I wonder what other artists can just like. It's all just autopilot, can tap out and actually really take it in.
What's the best answer? Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
90%.
Nice food. Nah, I don't think that's so funny. Nah, I don't think. Yeah. That's so funny. I can't imagine
I'm
like
blank.
performing
Yeah.
and being like.
I'm blank on stage. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing productive that I'm.
We're Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Rubin on stage.
Miley.
I'm Hannah Montana. I think I first saw Miley as Hannah, and I think
Oh yeah.
that was it.
Oh, but Miley has so many layers.
So did Hannah.
Yeah, go on. What do we got?
Oh, Spice Girl.
Yeah, it's Spice Girl.
Cranky Spice.
Brainy, crazy Spice.
Strong.
I was going to just go brainy Spice, but I was waiting for a... don't know about that.
I mean, like, we've had lots of like shows that have been memorable for different reasons.
It's funny that the ones that instantly come.
Yeah, what
Yeah, I don't know, just certain ones. Adelaide, Rhino. People having sex at the front of the stage. Yeah, it was a bit loose. We played Splendor recently, and that was just a festival that we've wanted to play as a full band for a while. We've DJ'd there a couple of times, but that was a pretty special moment for me
awesome.
and all of us. It's one of those things where you just get off stage and all 6 of us are just like pumped.
Yeah.
Sometimes like something will go wrong or someone's in-ears will be off, and it was just one of those ones where it's like cool. Where like it felt like we were back in a way post the last 3 years as well, which is really nice.
Definitely. And we got to have Maz from Wax come.
Yeah,
and Maz is the best. I mean, this is like such a... I feel like this is a setup. But I would say like Frank Ocean has had a massive impact in the state of music.
Yeah, Frank's done heaps.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like this is like the music side and influencing, but who's like said things where it's like, yeah,
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like totally.
I hope you'd stop vaping. That'd be mine, probably.
I want media training. Media training.
I think we're fine.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're good. I'm saying I want for me.
A few members of my family play music, my dad and my brothers. So I always wanted to be cool like my brother. And we were on some holiday, I think in Wilson's prom, and I was listening to NSYNC on my bunk bed. I was probably 8 years old. And my brothers were just like, what are you listening to? Like, that's so shit. And then I was like, what are you listening to? And they had their Discmans, and they were like, put an ear in, and it was like Smashing Pumpkins or Pearl Jam or something. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I just wanted to be my brothers, so they would play guitar. I started playing, I think I learned Time of Your Life that weekend, and very badly. And then that was it. So I think inspired by music in the house and siblings and dad playing.
That's cute.
Look, I didn't take the NSYNC calendar down from my
Yeah.
but I was maybe getting a bit cooler.
That's cute. I also grew up with music in the household and had parents playing music, but they played classical music and I hated it. And so I was like, no music, don't want to be involved in music, don't want to play music. And then when I was 16, I met this guy, and he was like a cool guy and seemed to was quite popular and good looking and charming and all the things. And he was like, used to walk around school playing like Coldplay songs. And I was like, Joel.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen for some reason. And yeah, it kind of made me want to start singing. So that's how we started.
Now the whole fam are crushing it.
Yeah, the whole family's in music, except for Xana.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's crushing
I
it.
heard him whistle the other day.
He's more of like a
I
rap.
don't know.